friends, this is Jackie and welcome back to my channel. And this video today is my 2020 reading bullet journal miscellaneous flip through. So if you're interested to see how I set up my bullet journal for 2020 as well as for January, then just keep on watching. All right, my friends, so let's start with the actual bullet journal. If you saw my 2020 planner lineup, then you will know that I purchased this bullet journal from Hobby Lobby. It is, I don't know if you can see that embossing at the bottom, the Paper Studio. This brand, I think is, I don't want to say exclusively affiliated with Hobby Lobby. I'm sorry, friends, if you can hear my printer in the background. It's doing its little cleaning thing it likes to do. Anyways, I don't know if the Paper Studio is exclusively at Hobby Lobby. I haven't seen it at Michael's or other places. I imagine you can find them online, but they have a pretty wide range of products at Hobby Lobby. I found this for 50% off before Christmas, and so I snagged it up. It ended up only being $4.99. It's a pretty standard bullet journal. It has the dot grid paper. It's bound pretty tightly with, I don't know if you can see it. It's like, it feels and looks like thread to me. Very thick paper, in my opinion. I wouldn't call it cardstock necessarily, but it's definitely, you can't see through it when you write, unless maybe depending on the type of markers or pens that you use. I thought for $4.99, this was a really good price for me to try out bullet journaling. And so I did. I got it, and then Joe got me some accessories, which I'll show you later for Christmas. So let's go ahead and get started. The first page, I just went ahead and I did some calligraphy. I first did it in, I believe, pencil, and then I went over it with a calligraphy pen. I just put my name in the year, and then a quote from, I think, the Cinderella movie, "A dream is a wish your heart makes." I often find myself humming that or singing that. And it definitely relates to my kids. Speaking of my kids, if you saw my 2020 lineup, then you know that these two pages, I had ripped pages out of between these two. And originally I had planned on just gluing them together, but when I did that, you can see there's like, when you go to the right side, there's an edge that hangs over, and when you go to the left, if I glued them together, there's an edge that hangs over here. So every time I tried to lay it flat, it just popped up. So what I did instead is on sticker paper, I printed out two 5x7s of my kids from last year, and I just put them on either side, and I covered the raw edges with washi tape from So Cute Planner. And then I just put some, edges around the corner to make it look like a photo album. So this is definitely something I enjoy looking at, and I'm very glad that I decided to do that instead of just gluing the pages together. All right, so these next two pages are pretty functional. This page is your grid spacing cheat sheet. I know a lot of bullet journalers do this. Because this was my first time bullet journaling, I didn't really, and I'm not setting up weekly spreads in here, I didn't really see a need for me to have it cut into thirds and, different size columns and things like that, because I'm not using this as a weekly spread. What I really needed to know was what was halfway. So I counted 29 dots, and then I just drew a line 15 and 15, 15 and 20, excuse me. So I know what halfway is and what the quarters would be if I wanted to split my page into fourths. And then the other thing that I really wanted to remember was when I do my monthly glance pages, my monthly calendar. There you go. I wanted to know what size the boxes were, and I didn't want to have to keep going back to January and counting how many across and how many down. So now I know it's 7 dots across and 6 boxes down when I do my monthly spreads. This is my year at a glance page that I ended up picking. It was just something I found free on Google Images. I know a lot of people will actually hand write out all the little numbers, but I couldn't, friends. I could not. I don't know how often I'll use this. Oftentimes, if I need to look at something in the future, if I need to look at a calendar in the future, I usually use my phone, but I like the look of this and I like the functionality, so I put it in there, and again with just a little strip of washi at the bottom. This is my future log, and I went ahead and went back to Hobby Lobby around the first of the year, and I got a, hold on, where did I put my stuff? Oh, down here. I went ahead and I actually purchased with a 40% off coupon, friends, this Dates and Holidays sticker book. And that's where I got, you can actually see them down here. That's where I got these scripts, these calligraphy scripts for each month. It's very functional. There are a few quotes and some foiled holidays and stuff like that, but I mainly got it for the numbers and the months. That's mainly what I got it for, honestly. And I went ahead and I used the months here. Your future log just tells you what's happening in the future. I'm planning on putting birthdays of people that I don't know immediately off the top of my head. So like, I'm not going to put Joe's birthday down because I know his birthday, but Melissa, I just saw, my friend Melissa from the Sticker Patch, who I'll talk about later, her birthday was on the 2nd. So I wanted to go ahead and put her birthday down so that next year I can remember to send her a card or send her a gift or whatnot. So that's what I'm planning on using this for. I think I might also use this. I'm not 100% sure. I'm putting events like, not necessarily events, but things that happen just once a year when it comes to my bills. So like, for example, I know in October, our zoo membership is up. So I don't necessarily want to put like my electricity bill every month, but things that aren't monthly, I could put in here in relation to bills. But we'll see. I kind of wanted to keep this non-budget and non-bill related. But I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm considering this bullet journal a little bit like a catch-all for me, but it still has a focus, and you'll see that in the next page here. So these are my goals for this year. I split it into 3 categories: reading, personal, YouTube. I could kind of put this like YouTube/Etsy and add a couple more because you'll see later I actually did an Etsy sales tracker, and I'll show that to you in a minute. But for when I set this up, I only set it up for reading, personal, and YouTube. So you can go ahead and you can read through my different goals. I think I talked about them in my 2020 setup or in a TBR. So I know I talked about some of my reading ones. And I know in my Plan With Me, as I've talked about us working on our fireplace, etc., etc. A couple things that I do want to mention. These last 3, I want to continue getting Kate ready for kindergarten by doing school on a daily, weekly, monthly, whatever kind of basis that works best for our family. I want my whole family to continue to stay healthy. We've had a rough go in 2019 with health, and I want to try and get us back on track. And then giving back. I really am trying to focus. This is probably like the top one of the year, giving back. I would really like this year to give back in any way that I can. May that be monetary. I would like to donate blood this year for the first time. Let's not get into it because it'll make me nervous. I'm doing a promotion right now on my Etsy for the Australian bushfires that are happening right now. And they have been happening for quite a while. And so I want to try and give back. I want to decrease my footprint on the earth, give back to the earth, that kind of thing. So I'm doing little things here and there, nothing like revolutionary. An example that I can give you from just this week is when I went to a grocery store, they had reusable produce bags for $3.99, and I think I had a coupon or some discount from shopping at that store. So I got 3 really nice reusable produce bags. You know, like stuff like that, which is very small in the grand scheme of things, but it's something. It's something. So I just want to continue to be cognizant of that. As far as YouTube goes, I would like to continue consistently uploading every Sunday and Tuesday. I would like to get to Thursday more in the future, but right now I'm pretty good with those 2 days, and you probably have seen that since the start of the year. I would like to get to 1,000 subscribers, which we'll go into that in a minute. I want to redo my banner and my description, and I want to get a new camera, which we're on our way to completing that goal. We do have a new camera. I can film on it, but we aren't quite there yet for filming, but I'm hoping, you know, within the first couple months of the year here, I'll be filming on a new camera. We'll see. I'll let you know when that happens. Over here is my YouTube subscriber count. When I created this, I was at 271 subscribers. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed. I appreciate that. And then what I did was I have, I think, 7 down, 4 across. So I figured out how much each of these were worth. I think it ended up being like 26 or something like that at the beginning. And then eventually I think I just got it to like 25, and then there's a jump here to 50. And so every time I meet one of these markers, I'll color it in with a red marker, probably put the date at the top, and then hopefully by the end of 2020, this whole thing will be filled in. So hopefully we'll see. All right, so this is my 2022 Be Read. These are all my physical books that I have. That's Smart with a P, and then the E is all my electronic ones that I have purchased myself and that are on my Kindle. My goal is to get this down to less than 30. I have 47 as of right now, or when I did this, and I've read this one, Micah, and I've also read The Silent Patient, so I'm going to mark that down. I think Joe and I actually listened to that. We got it from the audio from the library. We finished that on the 9th. And then I'm currently reading The Toll right here. And I'm almost about halfway to that book. So once I'm done, I'll mark it down there. So far, I mean, this is January, 13th, I think? 12th? I'm doing pretty good. I've already got 2 of them done, and plus a library book, which you'll see in a second. This page here is from Beautiful Planning, and I think it has a little over 100 books. My goal this year is to read 100 books, so I colored in a few of these black. You can see my key up here. So far I've read 2 3-stars and 1 4-star book. People do this differently. I know some people do genres, which is totally cool. Because this is my first time doing it, I thought this would be the most simplistic. Originally, I was going to do the month. So, like, all of my January ones were going to be blue. And then I kind of changed my mind. I thought it would be more fun and it'd be more of a variety by doing it by star rating. I think I might add 1 if I do not finish a book, but I don't know if I'm going to count DNFs on here. We'll see. These ones in black, when I printed them out, you could barely see the book. There were black lines. That's why I just made the black into decor. I thought that'd be nice to have that variance. And then, of course, I'll fill in these as I complete these little extras as I complete the bookshelf. Over here are my PopSugar Reading Challenge prompts and pages and spread. All of these stickers that you see are from Melissa from the Sticker Patch. I mentioned her previously in the video. Love Melissa. I will link her Etsy shop down below so you can check them out. Check her out and perhaps purchase these if you're a big reader like myself. If you don't know what the PopSugar Reading Challenge is, it's a pretty challenging reading challenge. It's my main focus for 2020. And there are 40 prompts and I believe 10 additional challenge prompts to this reading challenge. And in my opinion, some of them are kind of obscure, some of them are kind of challenging. But the reason that I really like these reading challenges and like doing Book Tech-Toe from the Book Democracy on Facebook, I'll try and link all of these groups and mentions below, is that it really, if you want to complete the challenge, it really forces you to read books that are out of your comfort zone or are out of what you typically read. If I didn't have a challenge or prompts like this, I probably would be reading the same types of books all year long. And I probably would get burnt out, if I'm being quite honest. So it really motivates me to read different books and find new favorites. So I filled out a couple that I want to read here. So I read The Silent Patient, which I think I mentioned. I finished it on the 9th, so I'm going to mark that off. And I gave that one 4 stars. So what I do is I put down the book title here, and then when I finished it in my star rating. So I finished House of Salt and Sorrows, and I put it as a book featuring one of the 7 deadly sins. Okay? The Toll will fit with the AI character. And like some of these, this is what I was talking to you about with the obscure prompts of Bildungsroman, which is formative years or spiritual education. Didn't know what that word meant. Didn't know what the Bechdel test was. That's down here. It's when 2 women who are characters in the book, they talk, but not about men. I know. We're learning little nuggets of information here in this this flip through. So you can see I put a few things down. I'm currently reading or listening to Hunger by Roxane Gay, which I think I put the quotes around the wrong part. Hello. Her name doesn't need quotes around it. The book title does. And I'm almost done with that. And this is a memoir written by Roxane Gay. And it's really good. It's nonfiction because, obviously memoirs are nonfiction. It's about her life. And I'm liking it so far. I'm actually going to show you. I'm almost done with it. So I'm going to show you how I mark it in the next few spreads. So this is the advanced list. I don't know if I'm going to get to this. If a book matches within the prompt like this one did, then I'll put it in there. But I'm not really going to worry too much about this one. I want to really try and complete the original 40. This spread are series that I either want to start, continue, and or finish. So I picked 5. I picked the ACOTAR series, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I have this first one on Kindle. I would like to read all 4 this year, or at least start the series. This is my beloved Wings of Fire series. I absolutely love that middle grade series. It's wonderful, wonderful. The next ones I'm going to be reading are these 4 here, in case you were wondering. I'm super excited to get to them. I'm hoping to get to them this month. They are 4 short stories. I'm just so jazzed to get back into this world. I love this series. This series I'm working on, this is the Anita Blake vampire series. Micah was one of the ones I needed to read, and I finished that book. I actually have this one checked off from the library right now. So I'd like to get through this. I started this series back up last May with Darshell over at Books and Planners, her Finish a Series readathon. The first book that I read, I think, was book 11 last year, and I read book 12, and book 12 was terrible. It was terrible, you guys. Incubus of Dreams. It was, in my opinion, terrible. And when I went on to Bookreads to read some other reviews once I was done, other people agree with me. Micah was much better. I gave it, I think, 3 stars. I liked it a lot better. And I hear it gets better as time goes on. So I'm excited to continue on with this series. There are 26. Hello. Not going to get to that. But if I could get to like 4, these 4, I would be pretty pleased with that. These 2 are trilogies down here. This is the Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. I've heard great things about him. Never read any of his books. We have all 3. Joe has read Mistborn, loved it. So I'd like to read those. And then the Nevernight Chronicles by Jay Kristoff. I've read one Jay Kristoff book, Aurora Rising, last year. I really did enjoy it. These are adult fantasies. So I'm excited to try and get that trilogy at least started. So those are some other goals I'd like to work on. There's a lot more series that I'm reading, friends. Let's be real, but these are enough. Okay, it's enough for me. All right, this next page is a rainbow spread. I have my top 10 over here, and then my most anticipated. A lot of my most anticipated, friends, are not brand new books. These are all backlist books. So this, I think, was from 2018. Tattooist of Auschwitz, I think, was from 2018. And Verity, I think, was from 2018. I don't have these all filled in. Obviously, I don't have this filled in. I haven't read any 5-star reads yet. But I'm slowly going through this and adding books that I really have had my eye on. And I was glad that I was able to get The Silent Patient done because I wanted to read that like last summer. So these other 2 I'll get to maybe. If not, I'm not really worried about it. Okay, so this is my reading stats page. I really like these 2 pages. I have my books read per month. There is 100 boxes here. And I'm actually going to fill in for January my Hunger book that I just told you about. I kind of wanted to show you how that looks when I'm filling it in. So each month has a coordinating color. And so Hunger is my 4th book of January. So I'm going to fill that in. I'm literally listening to it on audio. I have like less than an hour left. So I'm super excited. I'm hoping to get that done today. And then whatever I decide for Hunger, the star rating, I'll put down here. And these colors match these. Okay, so if I give Hunger a 4-star, then I'll fill it in. So I'd read 2 4-star books so far this year. Books read per month. Again, I'm going to be finishing Hunger. So I'm going to fill that in. Like so, and I'm just going to shade it in. I put up to 12 here because if I want to read 100 books, I'm going to need to read at least 8 or 9 books a month. I think the most I read last year was 10 in 1 month, so I put 12 just in case I happen to have a really good, reading month. So far, it's the middle of the month, and I'm already, well, not even the middle of the month, it's the 12th, and I'm already at 4, so I'm pretty pleased about that. And then books read by genre down here. So far I have paranormal, adult fantasy, mystery, thriller, and then I'm going to put nonfiction right here because that would be for Hunger. So I've read 1 nonfiction, and I'm going to use this green color for that. I'd be curious to see how it all ends up at the end of the month. So, end of the year, actually, how much I read within each genre. Okay, so this one I haven't really worked on except to put a heading down. This is from Debt Free Charts online. I want to put our mortgage here. One of my goals is to lower our mortgage. I don't know by how much. Like, I imagine I'm not going to get our whole mortgage done in 1 year, but if I could get a good chunk down, that'd be great. And then I'll just continue this on in 2021, etc. If I continue bullet journaling. You can get this one in 8.5 by 11 if you wanted to have it, on like a bulletin board or something. And they have a lot of free charts, and then I know there's some for purchase on their website too. So I thought that this was fun to fill in as we get our mortgage down. This one is my mood tracker for the year, my year in pixels. So you can see my key here on how I'm doing. I had some rough days, just agitated last week. If you watched my plan with me earlier this week, then I talked a little bit about that. I do still need to fill in yesterday. But yeah, I'm excited to see how this looks. I'm also, at the end of the year, I'm also excited to see how this one looks. This is Kate's health. As I mentioned previously, Kate was sick a lot last year, a lot in 2019, which was really hard for me as her mom, considering that she hardly ever got sick her first 1.5 to 2 years of life. And then it's like, once 2019 started, it was rough. So the first 6 days of the year, she had a congestion and cough. That's typically what she has when she gets sick. But I do want to track if she's got stomach issues, a fever, and then the white are healthy days. So we are on day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of healthy. So we're at 50%, people. Okay, we're going to go with it. This page here, I wanted to do with you. This is my Etsy sales. My goal at the end of this year is to have 10,000 Etsy sales. And similar to how I set up my YouTube, this is where I started when I started this spread. And then I went ahead and I took the 25 boxes and divided them from the difference of 10,000 minus 6,693. You get the idea. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put these little E for Etsy's. So when I reach each milestone, I'll fill it in probably in orange because that's the Etsy color. And I just made these on my silhouette and printed and cut them out. So that's how it's going to look. I'll finish this later, filling in the E's, but you kind of get the idea. All right, so now we're getting into January. And I decided that I'm not striving for perfection. I'm not. I printed these out from, it's an Etsy printable. I'll try and remember to link the shop below. I have all of the months, and then I wanted to try and do some doodling. I am not a doodler. My husband is the one who draws and has a very artistic eye. Our daughter is pretty artistic too. She actually helped me with some of this. If you follow me on Insta stories on Instagram there, you might have seen her helping me, and I'm just going to try and have fun. And if this becomes, if bullet journaling becomes something I'm really passionate about, then perhaps I'll do more practice with doodling. But I don't want this to be an anxiety causer or, makes me nervous to do. I want this to be something that I enjoy. And I've been really enjoying doing it. So far, so good. This is my monthly overview. So my plan with this, Kate helped me with these stickers, friends. She liked the rainbow colors. My plan with this is to just mark when I started a book and when I finished it. So these two I started on the 30th of December, and so I marked them when I finished. And then if they're up here and they don't have a date, that's when I started them. So I started the toll a week ago, and it was a rough start. Silent Patient Joe and I started this day. We finished it on the 9th. I started these two books on the 9th. Goldfinch I've taken a pause on because I want to try and finish Hunger, which I'm planning on finishing Hunger today. So that's kind of what this is looking at. And I wanted to kind of see how long it takes me to read books. And obviously it's different based on the genre and my interest and the format. And if I have multiple copies of the book on multiple formats, I find that if I have the electronic or a physical plus the audio, if I have either an electronic or a physical with the audio, I get through it quicker rather than just having a physical copy of something, because I don't often get to sit down and actually read. So audiobooks are definitely something that I need. This is my book Tic-Tac-Toe spread. I'm already working on redoing this. How I set this up was I printed this out on sticker paper and I numbered each of these, and then these numbers correlate. No. These green numbers correlate to what they could match the prompts with. And I can have one double dip, which for Hunger, I'm doing own voices and by an award-winning Black author. So like the Toll I'm using for this space, Silent Patient I use for this space. So far I have 4 prompts covered. And then the Wings of Fire anthology, which I was talking to you about, could be here. And then Backlist, I'm planning on doing the Goldfinch here. These other 2, Mistborn and Akatar, these are ones that I'm like, oh, I could pull this from my physical and my electronic 2020 TBR, and that also goes towards the series that I have. But I don't know. I don't know. I want to have at least 10 books that I'm thinking that I want to read, and some of them could be lapped over, like these were from December. But I want to have at least 10 that I'm interested in when I set up this page. In the future, my plan is to move this up, still number the prompts, and then put them down here, because my January TBR isn't always going to match up with my book Tic-Tac-Toe. While I might like that to happen, it's just not going to based on my interest. So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing in the future. I'll have my book Tic-Tac-Toe stuff all on one page. And then I have my YouTube calendar here. So I put Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. And then I created this kind of chart down here. So when I prep for the video, like pulling stickers or pulling items, when I film it, edit, upload, thumbnail, description, I think I'm going to add in a column of promotion. I'm not super great at promoting my videos. I usually can hit them on my Facebook groups that I'm part of if they apply. But Instagram, I'm not super great at. So far I'm doing okay. You know, I have things planned. Like I think down here, I want to try and do my February budget. Write that in. So that means that I'll need to get that prepped sometime in the next week or so that I can have that go live on the 28th. So that's kind of what this is looking like. Definitely is helpful to have an idea of the videos that I need to work on. This is my wrap up. So far, those are the 3 books I read. I'll add Hunger once I'm done with it. And then this is the start of February, which we will go into on the 30th. Okay, so that is my bullet journal. Really quickly before I go, I just want to tell you some of the materials that I've been using in addition to the bullet journal. I got a pack of these Crayola Super Tips. These are pretty popular in the Bujo community. They don't bleed through. They come in a bunch of different colors. You saw me use one of those. It's very pigmented. I use a pencil and, of course, an eraser if I am doing some sort of hand lettering or something that I want to trace over. This does not leave any sort of black marks on your paper like a pink block eraser might. This I just got from Meyer. I don't know if it's super great. I know you can find them on Amazon. Of course, whiteout, and then tweezers and washi and stuff like that. And then I showed you the sticker book that I use. And then I got a 3-pack of these microns. They're fine. They're super thin tip. I got these in 0.03, 0.1, and 0.5. They're okay, but I find that my Papermate Inkjoy does just as good of a job. And I really like those pens too. So that was my 2020 bullet journal setup and some of the supplies that I use. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing down below. I'd love to have you. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of the month. If you are a reader, happy reading, and I'm sure we'll chat soon. Bye-bye.